All right, so this is section 3.3. All right, and this says divide 6x squared plus 9x cubed minus 30 by 3x minus 4 using long division. Okay, that's probably something you have not done in a very, very long time. Okay, good news is we're not going to do it for very long, but we are going to do it for this problem. Okay, so first thing that you need to do is you need to have your polynomial in descending order. That means that your powers are going down. So 3, 2, 1, 0, and every single one needs to be accounted for. So if we rewrote this, we would have 9x cubed plus 6x squared, and we don't have an x term. So we need to add 0x minus 30. Okay, so we're going to write that. I guess I can just move it down. Let's move it around right here, and we are going to divide that by 3x minus 4. 3x, whoops. 3x minus, I can write it right. 3x minus 4. There we go. All right, so we are going to divide these two. And the first thing you're going to do is you're going to divide this first term by this first term. All right, and you want them to match. So the way that I like to say is, all right, what do I need to multiply 3x by to get 9x cubed? What do I need to multiply 3x by to get 9x cubed? You would need to multiply it by 3. That would get you your 9. And you have x and you need x cubed. So you would multiply by x squared. Then you're going to multiply 3x squared by both, by 3x and negative 4. So you get 9x cubed. Okay, you want those two to match. Minus 12x squared. Okay. And you are going to subtract. Okay. You're going to subtract this line from this line. All right. Because you're subtracting, you can go in and change all of your signs. Okay. So if it's plus, you're going to make it negative. If it's negative, you're going to make it positive. All right. Now, when you do that, you will always get a 0 right here. If you do not, then that's an issue. Okay. And so that's why you wanted it to match at first. First, we made it match because then we were going to go in and change the sign. Okay, so then we were going to get 0. All right, so we get 6 plus 12, which is 18x squared. Then you're going to bring down your plus 0x and then do the whole process over again. So now you're matching 3x to 18x squared. So you're going to say plus 6x. That's going to give me 18x squared. Then you're going to multiply both 18x squared minus 24x. Okay. Then you're going to go in and change your signs. This negative, that's positive. So we get 24x. Bring down this last guy. Minus 30. Now you're going to do the whole process over again. 3x is going to match to 24x. So you're going to say plus 8. And you're going to multiply both of them. So 8 times 3x is 24. 8 times negative 4 is negative 32. Now you change your sign. And you get 2. 2 is your remainder. Okay. So remainder 2. Right? And then you're done. So your answer is 3x squared plus 6x plus 8 with a remainder of 2. Another way that you can write this, and I think this is how it makes you write it on your homework, is you can say plus 2 over whatever you're dividing by, which is 3x minus 4. So you would say plus remainder over whatever's on the outside. Okay, either one is right. For me, on a test, you can just write it like this. Doesn't matter. But on your homework, I believe whenever you have a remainder, you have to write it like that. Okay. So that is long division. Not very fun. Okay, takes a long time, right? There's also this thing called synthetic division, and that's what we're going to spend the rest of our time on. Okay. And we can use synthetic division if we have a divisor of the form x minus c, x plus c, okay? Your divisor is what you're dividing by, okay? So that's what went on the outside when we did long division, okay? So here's the steps. You're gonna write the divisor as x minus c, okay? C is the number that we're gonna use. You're gonna write the dividend in descending power of x form, okay? That means your powers are going to go down, okay? So we'll have 3, 2, 1, 0, or whatever it starts with, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0, okay? If you can hear my dog barking, just excuse that, because I'm probably not going to try to edit it out, all right? Write only the coefficients, so that's the numbers attached to your x, and then include a 0 for any missing power of x. So if in your problem you have 4, 3, 1, 0, and you have no x squared term, you're going to need to include a 0 for your coefficient of your x squared term. And then you're going to follow the procedure that we will go over, okay? So this one says divide that polynomial by x minus 4 using synthetic division. All right, so if you ask these two questions up front, it'll help you, okay? So you need to ask, is there an x missing? And what is C? Is there an x missing? Okay, so it should go 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. And it goes 4, 3, 1, 0. Okay, so yes, we are missing a term, and it is the x squared term. I like to go in and draw 0x squared here. So when I'm looking at my polynomial for my coefficients, I see that red x squared up there, okay? What is C? All right, C is going to be the opposite of this number, okay? Every single time, C is the opposite of this number, okay? So C is 4, okay? It's whatever would make this whole thing 0. Okay, if I plugged in 4 for x, we would get 0. Okay, so that's why if this was positive 4, we would have negative 4. So that's why I say that you're always going to use the opposite. All right, now that you've answered those two questions, you're ready to go. All right, you're going to draw your diagram. All right, here you're going to list your coefficients up here. Your coefficients are 3, negative 11, 0, negative 18, and 8. Okay, here's where we're getting that from. 3, negative 11, 0, negative 18, 8. All right. C goes in the bottom left corner. Okay, C is 4, so it goes over here. All right. Here, the procedure almost goes in like a circle. Okay, kind of makes this move right there. All right, so you're going to bring down your first number, bring down 3. Let me change my color. Bring down 3. You're going to multiply here 3 times 4, and you put that number under the next set. All right, 3 times 4 is 12. Then you're going to add down. Okay, you're going to add down. Negative 11 plus 12 is 1. Then you're going to do it again. Okay, you're going to multiply here, put that number here, and then add down. All right, 1 times 4 is 4. 0 plus 4 is 4. 4 times 4 is 16. Negative 18 plus 16 is negative 2. And negative 2 times 4 is negative 8. 8 minus 8 is 0. Okay. So now what you just found are the new coefficients to your answer. Okay. You have divided. Now you need to put your variables and exponents back in. Okay. You are going to start. Okay. Your answer begins 1 power less than the problem. Okay, so what do I mean by that? So I started with x to the 4th. So my answer will begin with x to the 3rd. Okay. So I have 3x to the 3rd plus 1x squared plus 4x minus 2 with a remainder of 0. All right. I got those. I'll highlight them for you. 3, 1, 4, negative 2. Okay. Those were my coefficients that I'm using. Right. And then once you start at 3, you just do 2, 1, 0. Okay. And that last number is always going to be your remainder. Okay. So this is your answer. That boxed in part, right? So let's do this one. Okay, you could try this one by yourself if you wanted to. It's probably a good idea for you to take what I just did and then try it. Okay, so do I have a missing x? All right, I have 5x cubed plus 6x plus 8. So yes, I do. Right, I'm missing a 0x squared. So I'm going to need to account for that. And what is C? C equals the opposite of whatever this is, negative 2. All right, now we're ready to draw our box and do our procedure. Negative 2 goes in the bottom left. We need to list our coefficients: 5, 0, 6, 8. Then we start the process. So we say 5 times negative 2 is negative 10. 0 plus negative 10 is negative 10. Negative 10 times 2 times negative 2 is 20. 6 plus 20 is 26. 26 times negative 2 is negative 52. And 8 plus negative 52 is negative 44. Okay. Remember that we start 1 power less than what we were given. We were given a cubed. We were given cubed, so we start with squared. So 5x squared minus 10x plus 26. Our last number is our remainder. Oops. Negative 44. There we go. Okay. So just following that procedure, okay? And this time our C was negative. All right. Now look at this one. All right. This one's a little different. It says solve the equation. So this time we have an equation. So we have equals to 0. If you're given that 2 is a 0 of the function. All right. So we're going to put a couple of things together here. You're going to start to notice in these next couple of sections that we're just adding to the sections. Okay. It's all kind of building off of section 3.2, and then we'll add a little more here then we'll add a little more in 3.4 and so on. All right. So this is saying, here's my equation. And I'm telling you that if you plugged in 2 for x, you would get 0. All right. Because it's a 0 of the function, we are going to use synthetic division first. All right. We're going to use synthetic division first. Okay. Side note, normally, so based on what you know at this point, I give you this and I say solve the equation. Well, you'd be like, all right, so this has 4 terms. So I'm going to group. I'm going to use grouping. Okay, that's the only way I know how to factor this. But look, so you would group these two and you would take out an x squared. Then you would group these two and you can't take anything out. Okay, you wouldn't be able to make your parentheses match once you took out the greatest common factor. Okay, so grouping doesn't work. That's when you have to use synthetic division. Okay, your C is whatever your 0 is. Okay, so we're no longer doing the opposite, we're just doing 2. All right, you need to list your coefficients. 2, -9, 7, and 6. Okay, then do your process. So 2 times 2 is 4, -9 plus 4 is -5, -5 times 2 is -10, 7 plus -10 is -3, and we get -6 and 0. Okay, you should get 0. It is a 0 of the function, so you should always get a remainder of 0. If it's truly a 0 of the function, you'll get 0 for your remainder. All right, so let's make our new polynomial. We're going to start 1 power less than what we were given. We were given a 3. We're going to start with 2. 2x squared minus 5x minus 3. Okay, so you used synthetic division. That was step number 1. Now you're going to factor. Okay, now we're going to factor what? We're going to factor our new polynomial that we just got from synthetic division. Okay, so we're going to set it equal to 0. This is a hard trinomial. Okay, so if you need to go over to the side and do bottoms up, that's fine, but trial and error is not too bad for this one because there's only 1 factor of 2 and 1 factor of 3. So we're going to put 3 here and a 1 here, and we'll give this one a negative, this one a positive. Okay, you can always check yourself. Gives us -5x. That's what we want. Okay, once you do that, we're going to solve. Okay, this should be very familiar by now. Okay, you're going to apply the 0 product rule. Set both sets equal to 0 and solve. Okay, this should be nothing new, right? You have been doing this for a hot minute. Add 3, x equals 3. So what just happened was that I gave you an equation. I gave you 1 0 of the function. You used that 0 in synthetic division and you found this new polynomial. Once you divided it, you factored and you solved that new polynomial. What you found were the other zeros of that function. So if you plugged in 2, you would get 0. If you plugged in 3, and if you plugged in -1/2. Okay, you had to use synthetic though first before you did this part that you know how to do. Okay, you had to use synthetic first because you were given that 0. Okay.